Hello. Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to this week's community updates and Q&A. Today we have quite a few updates, almost like a laundry list of updates, but we'll go over them little by little so that we can kind of let everyone hear the news and the latest and digest that. But Peter, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Happy Monday, everyone. Good to see you. Martin in first. Ronald, good to see you. Gemma in the house. Eric, yeah, happy Monday to you as well, buddy. Helen, America. Let's see. Joanne, good to see you all. Thanks for joining. We appreciate you all tuning in. Sassy, good to see you. Karen, awesome. Lots of familiar faces here. Thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Community Updates and Q&A. Pablo, what do we have for updates? Should we just start jumping in?
Yeah, 1 second.
You bet. How was your weekend, by the way? What did you do? Some biking, I bet?
Yeah, some mountain biking, and if you go check out my profile now, you can see one of my falls, which is really funny.
Nice, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just got a little bit of little scrapes and bruises here and there, but otherwise, nothing broken.
Man, was it on the downhill part, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you fall going uphill, I'd be very surprised.
It's been done. I won't name names, but it's been done. I went mountain biking this weekend as well.
Yeah. Cool. Little beef jerky on the wrist, says Joanne. Yep, that sums it up perfectly.
Exactly.
Hello to Doe, Richard, and Med. How's it going?
Hey, Lisa, Rev in the house as well. I'm seeing here. Comments coming in fast.
Got a YouTube comment here as well. Richard Clarkson, good seeing you.
I know, Pablo with the boo-boo. You got to treat that. Why no Band-Aid?
Captain Rehab's asking, who is my barber? I hope it's because it's good.
You're looking sharp, sir. Looking sharp.
Thanks. For sure. This is now a 2-week-old haircut, but it looks good. Alrighty, so why don't we dive into the updates here? So first off, there's a studio update, not dramatic, but that is that you can now screen share / present your screen if you don't turn on your camera. So I know some users have brought up that they didn't want to turn on their cameras, but then they wanted to screen share and they weren't allowed to, right? So that was kind of a blocker. So that blocker is now gone. If you join the broadcast studio using Happs.tv on a Google Chrome browser and you don't activate your camera or microphone, you can still present your screen and go live that way. So that's just a new update there. The second update is that the character limit for your titles has now been updated. So instead of it being 50 for a title, it is now 99. So almost doubled there, just slightly short. And for anyone that has questions, please hold them for the Q&A section. We'll try to answer them in between, but it's better to just hold off until we get to that Q&A portion of the broadcast. So just a reminder, broadcast titles can now be 99 characters instead of just 50. So that's an update there.
About double, yeah, for those just tuning in, good to see you all. Thanks for joining us today for these updates here. So that's great. Be sure to take advantage of that. I know many people have asked for the last few weeks or in some cases months for longer titles. So it's here. You asked for it, and yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. Great. So then the second thing, or now third thing actually, is that when you go to schedule a broadcast, we've now added the ability to either select landscape or portrait ahead of time. So you don't have to do that and scramble to do it in your settings. Once you're in the studio, you can actually do that in your scheduler. So that's a beginning steps of some updates coming to the scheduler, including maybe in the future, editing the title, editing the time and stuff like that. But for now, that is the update that has been released, so that you can set your portrait, your broadcast to either portrait or landscape based off of your choice when you are scheduling your broadcast.
Right. And to be clear, you can still edit your broadcast title once you enter the studio or the pre-live session on whichever device. You'll just have to, basically keep that post for the schedule as is for now. But anyway, that'll be changing, I'm sure, at some point in the not too distant future as well, to provide further customization for those who want that for their post for whatever reason, the topic has changed, etc. in advance.
Correct. Yeah. And also hello to Lady Neva. Hello, Jane. Hello, everyone that is joining along. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to keep moving right along with some more of the updates. So
Great.
Next update is there has been an improvement to high velocity comments, meaning specifically in these types of situations when we're doing these community updates in Q&A, or if you're in a broadcast that has comments rolling in really quickly, there is an improvement now so that they move in more, functional, and it's easier to read and easier to keep track of.
Smoother, better timed, yes, comments coming in, exactly.
Correct. Thank you for that, Peter. And then the last two are mobile related fixes. So the first is regards to iOS. That latest version of Haps in iOS has now solved for some of the crashes that were causing, and also the ability to join as a guest on some folks that weren't able to join as a guest on broadcast. So that has now been solved for, so that make sure that you have the latest iOS version in that regard. And then the second update to Android is that Android users now have high quality audio mode. So if you're an Android user,
finally, yes.
Yeah. So
awesome.
For those musicians that are on Android, please do check out the latest update and make sure that you have that installed, and test it out. Let us know what you think. Go live, broadcast title, maybe testing new Android HQ audio, and let us know how that's doing for everyone. And then lastly, there was a few reports. This is more of a follow-up to last week. There was a few reports that the block feature wasn't working for some folks. The team has identified the bug that caused that, and that has been resolved, and an update has been pushed to fix for that. So thank you for everyone that did report that, and please continue to do so. It helps the team out a lot. But that's it. That's the updates. And I say that's it in in a mild fashion, because that was actually a relatively long list.
Only half a dozen things today.
Yeah. So those are the updates for today. Also, hello to everyone joining in. For those of you that are just joining in now, Fomi, I see you joining in. Yassine, thank you for posting that latest iOS version. Yeah, thanks everyone that's joining, and we appreciate you all here. So Sure is asking, any news on GoPros on broadcast? So Rtmp is, I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna jinx it. But RTMPN is in the very near future. We just don't have a date. Yeah. We're really excited about the tentative date, but we'll let you all know on Thursday if there's any updates for that we can actually disclose.
Yep.
Yeah, Ronald, we're aware. So Ronald, so by the way, now we can start the Q&A portion of the broadcast. There's a few things in the iOS viewing experience that haven't been reintroduced since we went to the new player. So if you notice things like not being able to edit your comment, not being able to view profile, those little minor things are going to be updated as we go. And yes, there are plans to update the Android UI to be more like the iOS one. As a matter of fact, iOS one might be updated as well anyway. So with new designs, so you may see a completely, totally different design on both ends in the near future. Please enlarge thumbnail pics for online streamer lists. It's way too small presently. Yeah, so, and I'm glad you mentioned Twitch, because that's actually a good example of that, and how they use thumbnails. YouTube as well. It's something that's on our list. It's something that we've kind of discussed with regards to how we will be addressing discoverability and viewing broadcasts and stuff like that, and discovering broadcasters. So yes, a lot of design updates are in the works now and should be implemented in the next few months, because that does take a little bit of time. A complete redesign of the site and app does take time, but thanks for bringing those up.
Yep. So less cluttered, more streamlined, more, I think, visually appealing and enticing, graphics, text, all sorts of things are certainly on the horizon. Yes, good hint at what's to come, Pablo. But we've heard many of your feedback and are really excited to have on a new designer on our team. We're really, really stoked to work with, who will be helping us streamline things and making it, hopefully a much better experience for everyone, for both viewing and broadcasting.
Yeah, so Lady Neva, you were asking about how to mute a listener. If it's your broadcast or you're a moderator of that broadcast, you can tap the comment and then hit mute user. If it's not your broadcast and you're not a moderator of that broadcast, you cannot mute that user from that broadcaster. So if you don't want to see their comments, you'd have to block them. And that's totally your prerogative there. Anthony Davis is saying it would be great if people with their mobile devices to show off their GPS activity with games like Pokemon Go and Ingress. If you could show the game and talk in the background, that would be awesome. That's an interesting suggestion there, Anthony. I know it's something that can be done on other platforms using some like external third-party apps through things like RTMP and plugins like that. So I think maybe once we have RTMP in, that'll be something that we can test out and figure out if there's a way to do that. Essentially screen share your device while you're out and about playing things like Pokemon Go.
Nice.
Which I know even users like Space Gal might be intrigued by that, because I know she plays Pokemon Go as well.
Right.
That's another good question, this time coming from Trollface. Will you give the broadcaster the ability to shut off getting coins? So this is something that has been discussed and raised by a couple users that don't want to be receiving coins. And we will probably be implementing a setting that allows you to individually turn that off if you'd like. But that'll be, it's kind of like on the list of very important items that need to be updated. Who can post an image or text? So it's not necessarily based off of who, but it's more so based off of your use and productivity on the platform, essentially, right? So the more time you spend, you go live and so on, the more you'll unlock, including those posts. Right. Helen, is this with the new version 6.6.14 that users are getting kicked out of call-ins? If so, please let me know. All right, Vaughn, when I click on a notification for a person's broadcast, I don't have the ability to react or like their broadcast. I also have no way to see their main page. Any plan to change this? Yes, so that is specific to the iOS new player and goes back to that same answer from earlier, that a lot of those items will be returned to that viewing experience in the near future. Ronald would like a way to see only current streaming broadcasts at the moment. So the best way to do that is by switching your feed to trending, and then that'll give you a longer list, but it's not going to give you everyone that's live. So that's going to be your best option for now until we work on a new solution.
Right. So some questions about audio. Very curious to hear what your experience has been with ambient outdoor noise that you actually want to be part of your broadcast. It sounds like Doe was having an issue with a waterfall sound being completely muffled, as well as Space Gal. Are you also on Android, by the way? Just very curious. Wondering if that's part of the new update. We'll continue to tweak the HD audio experience and the normal default settings to make sure they're optimal. Please let us know what you've been experiencing, either as a viewer, or especially as a broadcast.
Oh, sorry, we lost Peter there, especially as a broadcaster.
Oh no, and my connection dropped. Am I back?
You're good. Yes, you're good.
Man, I didn't think that happened in the land of fiber optics, but apparently it does. Oh man, I'm pulling a Pablo. Can I say that?
That's mean, but yeah.
Hey, just saying. Not the only one struggling. Join the live stream. Yeah. Little while ago, says Doe. Okay. Notice the sound keep cutting for the wind noise. Yeah, so that's really interesting. Curious, though, if you've ever tried using an external mic to your device, sometimes those can be really useful, especially if they have the ability to put kind of like a windscreen or like a foam top on there. That might be helpful if you're doing lots of outdoor, Sound of Music style frolicking broadcasts that I know you are into. So just curious here.
Are you going to move that award banner so I quit hitting it accidentally? I'm assuming you're on Android because that's the only, Haps.tv still has that banner, but that'll be updated and Android would be updated as well. iOS does not have that banner anymore. Any APIs to connect referral links on external e-commerce sites with previews? Interesting, Ronald. We haven't looked into that, but maybe that's something that we can look into in the future. Eric Levitt, I know this has been brought up before. Is there a zero tolerance on bullying or harassing users on your broadcast? Is it against the rules and guidelines on Haps? So, Eric, I strongly encourage you to reread the community guidelines if you have that kind of a question. In most situations, depending on the degree of the actions, users will receive a warning. If it's severe enough, they will be banned from the platform.
Correct. Yeah.
I hear you loud and clear, Tony, about the live viewer count. Where we know we've heard that request plenty of times, and we will hopefully get there soon.
Right. One thing that makes it complicated is the multicasting. So aggregating all of those live view counts is pretty tricky from a technical perspective. So we aggregate it, for now at least.
I'm seeing a comment from Gloria on YouTube saying that she can't log into Haps on her iPhone, but she has it on her iPad. I just make sure that you're not typing the password in incorrectly or the email. I know that sounds like a dumb response to that, but if you're able to log in to your Haps account with that iPad and you're using the exact same email and password for the iPhone, there shouldn't be any issues. We don't have anything that blocks you from adding another device to that account. So just make sure you're typing that incorrectly. And if you continue to have that issue, just send us an email at contact@haps.tv and we'll get to that.
Cool. If folks are having trouble with, bullying or conflicts in broadcasts or comments, use that block function. That's what it's there for. Use that first. If it's something that raises to the level of repeated or, severe, by all means, please do flag that for us as well. And please provide evidence for the claim of, community guidelines violation. We take it really seriously, but we need time codes, the broadcasts on which our team and our moderation team at Haps take action are all reported from you, from the community. So the more information you can provide our team, the better on that front. Great.
Yeah, I see your comment, Gloria. Hopefully that works out for you. Gemma, I think it is in the works to add an "Are you sure" button for blocking. So thanks for bringing that up again. And that's just a general advice, an update for everyone. Is there a tutorial for Android phone? That is a very good question.
A really good question.
And unfortunately, I don't have an Android, and I don't have
an Android. So
maybe
Brett or Adam.
Yeah, we might have to enlist the help of some friends to make an Android tutorial. But yes, definitely we'll make sure to get that up and running. Maybe next week's Tutorial Tuesday, because tomorrow is going to be about moderation and multicasting, since that's been a topic of discussion lately, and we really want to get over that. Explain that fully to everyone. But maybe next week we'll do that for Android users completely.
Okay, let's see what else here.
No, that is not the reason why all the updates are for iOS, Kim. We did have an update for Android today. Sometimes things just move in different directions.
Right. Partially because Android is for so many different devices, it takes longer to test, and it's also longer to roll out in the Google Play Store for approval. Once we do have one ready, it can take far longer at times. So there's a number of reasons for that, and that's why a lot of other platforms don't come out with an app at all for Android until much later in their development. Unfortunately, it's just kind of part of the workflow, which is too bad. And actually might be getting my hands on an Android phone just to test it out. And I should try to remain, Android or iOS indifferent here and test both out. It's probably time for that.
Yeah. I'll ask for a Haps Android phone to do the same.
There you go.
To answer your question, Lenny, yes, if a broadcaster deletes a broadcast, but it has been flagged for violations of guidelines, and this kind of goes out to just everyone. If a form was used, the form that is used to submit guideline violations, if the link is there and the username is there and the broadcast has been deleted, we can still review it and forward that to the moderation team to make a decision.
Is that your dog in the background running across the floor?
Yeah.
Right. Don't feel bad. Some companies purposely don't do Android, period. I know, right? Yeah. We're trying, guys, and Android's definitely going to catch up.
I hate to say these things, but it does tend to deal with Android in and of itself. Yeah. And Red Talk and Lenny, I don't want to be a teacher in this situation and split you up, but this broadcast is specifically for updates and Q&A, and those extra chatter and problems that you all are bringing up, please either block each other or move on, because it's starting to get interfering with the questions.
Indeed. Thank you.
We have another question here. Will a share feature be added while you're in a broadcast? Yes, so that is another thing that we need to get to. I know a lot of users have requested the ability to share to their subscribers. So if you're watching a broadcast but you want to alert the people that subscribe to you, you can also do that as well. How many people are on the moderation team? I think just like the answer to how many people are on the Haps team, we will probably not disclose that yet.
Less than 12. We can provide some rough estimates.
Yeah, yes. There you go. Kim's asking, will people who, sorry. Spring allergies, everybody.
Bless you.
Who don't go live on Haps, thank you, but are frequent users as a viewer, be allowed to post on our own timeline. Probably in the future, we will discuss that and see what we can do.
Let's see. Oh, how long does it take to get back to people who report or flag community guidelines violations? So typically within 48 hours, yes. So thank you for reporting that, and we'll definitely, look into that. Thank you so much for using that report function. That's really helpful. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the policy on using foul language? Okay, good question. So in principle, expletives are not forbidden. It's when they're directed at someone in a harassing or abusive way, right, which is the problem. So we're all for using whatever speech you would like, as long as it's not hate speech or harassment or other violations of our guidelines. So feel free to check those out in detail. But yes, we try to be laissez-faire as possible on that front. We're not here to censor or bleep out broadcasts. That's not what we do.
Thanks for everyone that said bless you. I just saw that.
How can you follow someone when you're in their broadcast? Good question, Jumping Bean. So we're having, like the name, by the way, we're bringing in some, other features back into the mobile app for both iOS and Android, which will include the ability to see a mobile preview of someone's profile and subscribe to them directly from within the comment section as you're viewing, or if you're a broadcaster. So yes, that is not possible currently, but very soon should be.
And I'm seeing, Jane, just to answer you verbally, because I did answer it earlier, but I think you maybe missed it because the comment flows so quickly. When you're using your iPhone as a camera, I'm assuming you're using it as a secondary device. So if that secondary device, the iPhone, is freezing, that might be related to the same issue with some users being kicked out when they're guests. So it seems like that issue might still be persistent in some situations, and we'll make sure to report that to the team.
Yep. Great. Let's see, what else do we have? question about reporting. What are you doing to stop people from being reported on purpose? So, we review every report individually. Our team, convenes and there are regular check-ins about this. If it's something that, is without warrant, or there's not enough evidence, right, then it's something that our team does not take action on, right? We require evidence. So if you're getting mass reported as potentially could be trolling or bullying activity in and of itself, expect that to be taken into consideration from the moderation team.
Correct. Yeah, not just because something is reported doesn't mean that it'll be confirmed to be against community guidelines. Is there oh wait, actually there's a previous question. Are you renting Amazon servers? And if so, must you follow their political protocols? I don't think Amazon has political protocols for their servers, and I don't know the extent of the servers that we are using. So Blondie, can't answer that question for you right now, sorry. Is there an AI for reporting and a way to dispute it? So the current moderation system, what it entails is receiving either a report or seeing it ourselves as moderators and a couple of others on the moderation team, which then also gets reported, and then having a discussion on whether or not that violates community guidelines. There's some that are blatantly obvious and actions can be taken right away, and others that aren't. In most situations, you will the users will receive an email with a warning or a notification that the account has been banned. So if there is any need for dispute, then that is the time to do it. But if there's no need for dispute because the evidence is clear, then that is what it is. We have gotten emails back. The moderation team has shared emails back, but unfortunately, it just doesn't make sense to continue those discussions when it's very obvious. FOMI categories will be updated. There's been, a lot of
discovery. Yeah. Good to see you, Fomi. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Welcome. Do you go over the weekly broadcast schedule? Oh, yeah. So happy to do that. We generally have community updates and Q&A on Mondays at around 3:30 Pacific time and Thursdays around 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And we typically have Tutorial Tuesdays, which are also around 3 or 3:30 Pacific time. Wednesdays are broadcaster roundtables, again around 3:30 Pacific time. Friday, weekly broadcast of the week broadcast. So those times do change periodically, and we're planning to play around with them. We don't have an official schedule for them. The best way to get notified is to follow the Haps account and turn on your notifications within the app, so you'll be able to see it when it goes live. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, so there's a few questions being asked twice that we did answer, but just make sure to read the comments and then also maybe watch the replay. But Kim, just to kind of quickly answer you, as a viewer, you will be allowed to post things maybe in the future. We still need to evaluate that whole feature in general. And then what can be done about people who create multiple accounts to harass and bully so we can limit by retaliation. Pointing those users out to us as quickly as possible will be the best thing that you can do. Blondie Babe, violation complaint form won't accept a screenshot. If you describe the situation and provide a link for where it happened, we can find it. It's not that difficult to find these things. So screenshots are often not necessary, but if you still feel the need for it, send that screenshot to moderation@haps.tv, which has always been a secondary option for that. Russ, right now doing meetings, however, got plans to do more entertainment in the future. So far, so good. Thanks, guys. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad that you're enjoying the platform. That link should be clickable that Peter posted. You just have to click on the portion that says guidelines as opposed to on the actual lettering of the link.
Yeah, let me try again, guys. Sorry about that. And you can also find this report to guideline violation within the app. If you go into your home screen, it should be in the bottom right with a little warning triangle. So that's how you can file it.
Yeah. broadcasters can assign moderators. If you go to your settings and then moderation, you can add users to your moderation team. If you want to add emojis to your chat and you're watching on desktop, it's Control Command Space, I believe. Otherwise, use your keyboard as you would in any other situation on mobile, and you should be able to add your emojis. If a user is not on Haps and they're posting any comments that you do not want to see, mute them. And then take note of where those comments were coming from. Go to that platform, go to your broadcast there, and then block them. For now, that's just the reality of what we can do on the Hap side. You can mute the user. There's just no way to block a user on YouTube from Haps. That's just unfortunately something that can't happen. Jeff's Journey, RTMP should be coming in a few weeks-ish.
We'll keep you updated. Yeah. Not exactly sure on the timeline. Our team will. It's definitely on their short-term plans, though. So stay tuned, and we'll provide updates as soon as we can. Yes.
Yeah. What happens if Boolean starts on Haps but then continues on another platform? What would the suggestion be? Submit the report like you would submit any report. Provide the proof that it continued off-platform, and the moderation team can take that into consideration for actions there.
File it on that platform too, though. I mean, we're going to take that into consideration as best we can here. But if there's no evidence of it happening on Haps still, unfortunately, we can't do anything about it. It needs to be also happening on Haps for us to take some action. So, we appreciate other sort of evidence, but please do file a community guidelines report with those external third-party platforms too. Block them on those external platforms too. Be sure to be diligent about all those steps as well, and we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, there's a question about what is RTMP. RTMP is essentially, it's essentially a system that allows you to broadcast into other platforms from a certain program, device, website, and so on, etc. Things like GoPros, for example, have RTMPs out, and you can use their mobile device to broadcast live to places like YouTube and Twitch directly from the GoPro wirelessly. In those situations, and that's something that will be available on Haps soon.
Right, totally. Good reminder. Let's see, Pablo, what's the theme for tomorrow's Tutorial Tuesday? What are we going to be going through?
So that's a great question. Tomorrow's Tutorial Tuesday, and I'll take this time to kind of describe all of our weekly broadcasts, since someone did ask for that. Tomorrow's Tutorial Tuesday will be in line with multicasting and how to mute and interact with comments from external platforms. Also, in that note, we will describe moderation as a whole and what your moderators can do while they're watching you. On Wednesday, we will have another roundtable, which is normally what we do on Wednesdays. So Mondays, today, community updates and Q&A. Tuesdays are tutorial days. Wednesdays, we have roundtable discussions with various different users of the Haps platform. On Thursdays, we do another updates and Q&A to kind of round out the week. And then on Friday, we do broadcasts of the week. So we'll have a variety of different broadcasts that have been pointed out to be broadcasts of the week.
And send us those nominations, by the way. Start now and help us make sure we don't miss any amazing broadcasts through Friday. So feel free to send an email to either myself or Pablo, and we are happy to include it in that.
Correct.
Great. How can someone become a Haps moderator? Yeah, so moderators are individual, right? So as a broadcaster, you can assign or deputize some of your top fans or trusted allies or broadcasters as moderators. And we'll be going over that tomorrow on our Tutorial Tuesday in more depth.
Beardo and Weirdo are already on the list for broadcast of the week.
They have been nominated for the amazing light show. If you missed that broadcast yesterday, that was pretty wild.
Yeah. All right, everyone, that draws this broadcast to the conclusion. And Retta, as always, you are late to the party.
You just waking up over there in Florida? Sorry. Couldn't resist. We love you, Retta.
All good. Retta, you're great. we're going to go ahead and end this broadcast. We'll see you tomorrow for Tutorial Tuesday, where we will go over moderation and multicasting and how to interact with those comments. And yeah, that should be a good one. So make sure to tune in. And if you are tuning in and you're a broadcaster and you'd love for your moderators to learn a thing or two, please check in. Yeah. And Brett is just reminding everyone that Android musicians, please test out the high quality Android mode. And we hope you all notice a difference on that, as we mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast. But
absolutely,
as always, thanks everyone. And I hope you all have a good rest of your week.
Indeed. Yeah. Have a great night or morning or whatever time it is where you are. Thanks for tuning in and joining us for this edition of our updates and Q&A. We appreciate you being here. And yeah, feel free to reach us with any additional questions. Good to see y'all.
Bye.